We start with the Om. जय गिरिजापति दीनदयाला सदा करता संतना प्रतिपाला सदा करता संतना प्रतिपाला। आत्मलिंगं भज रे परमात्मलिंगं भज रे आत्मलिंगं भज रे परमात्मलिंगं भज रे आत्मलिंगं भज रे परमात्मलिंगं भज रे सर्वेश्वरलिंगं भज रे परमेश्वरलिंगं भज रे सर्वेश्वरलिंगं भज रे परमेश्वरलिंगं भज रे सर्वेश्वरलिंगं भज रे परमेश्वरलिंगं भज रे सर्वेश्वरलिंगं आत्मलिंगं भज रे परमात्मलिंगं भज रे 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 नागलिंगं नवमणिलिंगं नागलिंगं नवमणिलिंगं नागलिंगं नवमणिलिंगं नागलिंगं नवमणिलिंगं नाभिकमलावोद्भवलिंगं 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 परमेश्वरलिंगं भज रे सर्वेश्वरलिंगं भज रे 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 आत्मलिंगं भज रे परमात्मलिंगं भज रे आत्मलिंगं भज रे परमात्मलिंगं भज साम्राज्यसन्दायिनी चित्रूपी वरदेवता भगवती श्रीराजराजेश्वरी श्रीराजराजेश्वरी
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः गोविन्दाय नमो नमः केशव माधव गोविन्द केशव माधव केशव माधव गोविन्द केशव माधव गोविन्द केशव माधव गोविन्द
केशव माधव गोविन्द
पूर्ण प्रज्ञ हो गोविन्द
पूर्ण प्रज्ञ हो गोविन्द
ज्ञान योगी तुम गोविन्द
ज्ञानयोगी तुम गोविन्द
ज्ञान रूपी तुम गोविन्द
ज्ञानयोगी तुम गोविन्द
केशव माधव गोविन्द केशव माधव
गोविन्द
समाधि गोविन्द
राजयोगी तुम गोविन्द
योगी राज तुम गोविन्द
योगी राज तुम गोविन्द
केशव माधव गोविन्द केशव माधव गोविन्द देव देव हो गोविन्द
देव देव हो गोविन्द
देव देव हो गोविन्द
देव देव हो गोविन्द
भक्ति योगी तुम गोविन्द
भक्ति योगी तुम गोविन्द
भक्ति दात तुम गोविन्द
भक्ति राज तुम गोविन्द
केशव माधव गोविन्द
केशव माधव गोविन्द
कार्य कुशल हो गोविन्द
कार्य कुशल हो गोविन्द
कार्य कुशल हो गोविन्द
कार्य कुशल हो गोविन्द
Welcome, my dear brothers and sisters, Yoga Bandhus from all over the world to this live program. And this time we have captioned the program topic as Viral the Willpower to Strengthen the White Blood Cells to Drive Away the Corona. We all are having this tremendous willpower. This is the one that characterizes each and every one of us. As human beings, we are endowed with that willpower. And along with that willpower, we also have the freedom to use the willpower in the right direction or in the wrong direction. That power of discrimination, that freedom that we all have is the speciality of the human beings. We are not just robots who are programmed. While we all have a tendency to do our actions in a particular way, governed by our personality traits called gunas, we also have the freedom to change in the right direction or in the wrong direction. It's left to us. So yoga tells us that we must use this willpower, use this discrimination power to go in the right direction, to raise ourselves from our normal level to become great human beings, superhuman beings, divine human beings, and reach state of perfection. Particularly, the science to gain mastery over the willpower is emphasized by Patanjali. Patanjali Yoga Sutras are the basis for development of the willpower to grow to great heights. Patanjali brought out all the wisdom ways that were available till then, maybe 900 BC, into a very nice thesis and brought these 4 chapters, the Samadhi Pada, Sadhana Pada, Vibhuti Pada, and the Kaivalya Pada. In 196 sutras, like formulae, he brought out the whole essence of this yoga of willpower. And to gain mastery over the mind is the key. So in his second sutra, as most of you have heard, yoga is a process to gain mastery over the mind. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. The chitta vritti, modifications of the mind, had to be controlled by systematically developing our willpower. Our habits may die hard, but if we can use our freedom, then we'll be able to gain control and mastery over the will. So that is the dimension that we are going to talk about. When we have this willpower strengthened, that can come down to our physical body and can bring about the strengthening of our immune system, having the white blood cells and the natural killer cells can all become very, very strong. Once you have a strong immune system, then any infection or viruses from outside cannot touch us because our defense is very, very strong. This is the basis on which we have been using the yoga programs for prevention and promotion of positive health. particularly in this crisis of corona, it has become more necessary. So this Swami Vivekananda called as Raja Yoga, the path of willpower. And this Raja Yoga is the name given by Swami Vivekananda to Patanjali Yoga, based on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, the aphorisms of yoga, the thesis on yoga. As I said, yoga is to gain mastery over the mind. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta vrittis are the modifications of the mind. And we have to gain mastery over these modifications of the mind. So there are two main dimensions of this mastery. The first one, as we all have been developing, is to remove the randomness of the mind, develop better and better concentration, and sharpen the mind, make the mind brilliant, speed up the mind, and essentially it is to energize the mind and speed up the mind, faster, faster, faster mind. So when we have the speeding up of the mind being cultivated, it improves our efficiency. And this is very necessary for developing the efficiency. As all of us know, when we have better concentration, we all become more efficient. Therefore, we all develop concentration. When the mind is in a state of randomness called chanchalata, a haphazard mind, a random mind, a monkey mind, then our efficiency is very poor. So the whole of our education system is to develop this power to speed up the mind, sharpen the mind. No doubt it is very necessary. But once the speed increases beyond a particular limit, then the efficiency starts going down. In the beginning, the speeding of the mind will increase our efficiency, brilliance, sharpness, dynamism, energy, everything goes on increasing. And of some time, when it reaches a peak, then if you further speed up the mind, it is going to come down. And it's going to come down, and efficiency goes down. So Patanjali recognized this aspect and said that while speeding is very necessary, the second dimension also becomes important. That is the dimension to slow down the mind, calm down the mind. This is what sage Vasishtha emphasized. He defined yoga as a process to calm down the mind, tranquil the mind. Mana prashamana upayaha yogaha, he said. Prashamana is a beautiful word. Shama is to tranquil the mind, calm down the mind, silence the mind. Prakarshena shamayati iti prashamanam. Deeply tranquil the mind, deeply silence the mind. And that is featured by slowing down process. But slowing should not lead us to tamas, to laziness, lethargy, drowsiness, sleepiness, running away from action. So many people thought that we should not slow down the mind. We should have a fast mind. In our Gurukula system of education, both these dimensions were harmoniously built. But when we had the new education system that came, by the British when they brought this. Then they said that don't be lazy, don't be lethargic, sleepy, drowsiness, sleepiness. Don't sit quiet like this. Come on, get up and do the activities. You should be dynamic, full of energy, vitality, faster mind, sharper mind, brilliant mind, creative mind. You know, don't be slow, sitting there, lazy, drowsiness, sleepiness. Don't do that. Listen. They're conceived of only two dimensions of mind. One, a lazy, lethargic, tranquil, silent mind. Another is a very fast, dynamic, energetic, creative, sharp mind. Probably first time in the history, we have Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who brought out the third dimension, that is a calm mind, a tranquil mind, a silent mind. He is quite different from the lazy, lethargic, drowsy, sleepy mind. And he showed when you calm down the mind, when you slow down the mind, don't think that you are going to get lazy, lethargic, but you are going to go one step above the speed of mind. Your efficiency will go up, IQ will go up, creativity will go up, and all dimensions of your personality are going to grow. And at Harvard, Dr. Benson and other groups started doing a lot of experiment about this, whether it is true, what Maharishi is telling. When person does meditation of calming down the mind, silencing the mind, transcending the mind, as he called TM, all people found that what he said was true. Hundreds of papers were published in the best of the journals. Then came the recognition of the three states of mind. The first, in which you have laziness, lethargy, drowsiness, sleepiness, and the tamasic mind. The second mind, full of energy, vitality, sharp mind, brilliant mind, speedy mind, faster mind. And the third stage is slowing down of the mind, calming down of the mind. So these are the things that emerged. And everywhere it became common. In the education system, large number of universities all over the world started bringing transcendental meditation, TM, to bring in the mastery over the mind. So this is what started happening. But this is nothing new. In fact, this has been brought forth in Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So he said, after developing the power of concentration, then we go to the next step called dharana. From there you go to the dhyana. In the process of developing our willpower, making willpower very strong, what is to be done? The first step is you have to shatter that tamas, laziness, drowsiness, sleepiness. And from there the mind starts coming up, becoming faster, sharper, brilliant, full of energy, vitality starts coming up. Then we have the power of concentration. So what exactly is happening? In concentration, there is a single subject, but there are multiple thoughts. In the gross, random mind, in the chanchala mind, what's happening? There are multiple thoughts, but they are unconnected with one another. There are multiple subjects and multiple thoughts. So from there, in concentration, we have the multiple thoughts all connected with one another, and we have a single subject. From multiple subjects, we brought to a single subject. That's where we have ended in our education system. Patanjali took it to the next step. From multiple thoughts, take to a single thought. This is called dharana. And the next step to that is dhyana. So what is going to be the result? In dharana, when the mind is in a single thought, your willpower is very, very strong, and all the energy is going to be packed up into that single thought, becomes very, very powerful. Just like you have a lens in sun, you adjust the paper, and when you adjust paper to the exact focus, the paper is going to burn. Why? All the incident energy in the lens is going to get focused onto a very sharp point. The energy is going to increase. This is called focusing. This is called dharana. Desha bandhaha chittasya dharana, they said. Fix the mind on a single thought. Complete focus. That thought becomes very powerful and it can take deep into your subconscious and burn up all those negativities which you want to burn them. But you cannot do that dharana for a long time. Therefore, Patanjali told that you have to go to the next step, from dharana to dhyana. Dhyana is a effortless dharana. What characterizes dhyana, often translated as meditation, is that it has a single thought, there is slowness, as a result the BMR comes down, and when normally you slow down your mind, there is a tendency for us to sleep off. No sleep, sir. You have to keep the wakefulness. The entire process is effortless. And once you start doing this meditation with a single thought continuously, then you start feeling the joy, the happiness. The mind starts expanded. So the 5 features of dhyana: single thought, effortlessness, slowness, wakefulness, and expansiveness. It can be done sitting, standing, lying down. In any position you can do that. When these 5 dimensions are there, then you have dhyana. Tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam, as they define Patanjali. There is a single pratyaya, eka pratyaya. So this is the key feature of dhyana. Then the willpower becomes very strong. So we have a systematic method by which we can strengthen our will. The haphazard mind with least willpower is all brought into concentration, ekagrata, chanchalata to ekagrata, and from there you bring that into dharana, and from dharana you go to the dhyana. And this is how we strengthen our willpower. Using our willpower, we can bring about a transformation in our whole body-mind complex. We have to bring that willpower, which is at the mind level, to percolate down to the body, and particularly in the present context of corona, the COVID, we have to bring it to the immune system. Immune system is our defense, as all of us know. And every day, thousands and thousands of external germs come to attack us. But we have a strong willpower, a strong immune system. But when our willpower is weak, it can percolate down and the immune system also can become weak. There is a continual interaction between the mind and the body. Particularly when you are stuck with fear, anxiety, tension, stresses, then immunosuppression takes place. Then the strength of the WBC and the natural killer cells are going to come down. So we have to remove those dimensions with our will. Using that willpower, which is the key essence of the Patanjali Yoga, we bring that power that we all have to strengthen our defense. So all our WBCs and natural killer cells will all operate effectively with their fullest power. And that is how the willpower has to be used in the context to bring about the necessary strengthening of the immune system. And to stay in a single thought effortlessly is often easily said than done. Stay in a single thought, meditate. If you do that, the mind will go haphazard. It will have distractions. So, Arjuna says, Chanchalam hi manak Krishna, pramati balavadrudam. This mind, you say you control and then have single thought and samadhi and several things you are talking about. But look at my mind, it's full of distraction. How can you achieve this? So I remember I had one of the workers in the Hindustan Aeronautic Limited several decades back. He came to me and told, "Sir, I have lost my concentration. And can you help me to develop the concentration?" I asked, "What is the matter?" He says, "After returning from work, I come home and just want to relax and read some nice storybooks." At that time, we used to have Chandamama, Balamitra in Kannada. Very simple stories, very effective, very interesting stories. Then I will keep there and start reading those. I read the first and the second sentence. Then the mind will jump to some other thought. Oh, today I was to go to the market, bring these things, and today I did not do, and so on and so forth. And what is happening in the factory? The mind goes on and on with all types of different thoughts. 10 to 15 minutes, I'm in a different world altogether. Then when I come back, I've forgotten what I have read. So I stay there for half an hour in front of my book. Hardly I read 3 sentences. This is what has happened to me. Can you help? When such things happen, what do we do? We cannot prescribe, okay, do dharana, dhyana, stay in that single thought and do. Doesn't happen. Patanjali, as a great psychologist, a master who understood about our mind, he devised the modalities for that. He called it, you have to do indirectly. That's he called it the Bahiranga Yoga. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi come to the direct control over the mind, called the Antaranga Yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara come under the Bahiranga Yoga, 5 limbs. That form the 8-limbed yoga, most famously known as the Ashtanga Yoga. So a set of do's and don'ts, Yama, Niyama. What are the things that we have to do in our day-to-day life, how to change our lifestyle, has been brought forth by the Yama and Niyama. Shaucha, cleanliness, is very, very important, what you have to do. Santosha, being calm, quiet and happy, is very important. Tapas, to take up the work and then see that it continues until it's finished. Swadhyaya, introspection, looking at the imbalances inside and correcting them. Ishvara Pranidhana, tuning ourselves to that infinite consciousness for all the ways that we have to do. Then we have Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Parigraha, Yamaha, he said. So what we should not do? Ahimsa, untruth and other things, all we have to avoid. Then we have asanas, the postures. Use the body and keep the body steady and stay that longer and longer time, effortlessly for longer and longer time. And tune your mind to that infinite expanse Ananta Samapatti, Prayatna Shaitanya Ananta Samapatti Bhyam. He gave the two techniques. And by so doing, you use the body to gain mastery over the mind, he said. Then pranayama, use the breathing. Use the breathing to gain control and mastery over the mind. Very, very powerful. If you cannot control the mind directly, the best thing is to control the breathing. The speed of breathing has to be brought down to bring about the slowness of the mind. And we have a number of different pranayama techniques that are given to us in the Hatha Yoga, and we can use them to do that. And therefore, we use all this technique. Then pratyahara is to use our senses to bring control and mastery over the mind. So, the general tendency of the senses to have a rush towards their object. When the mind is very fast and the mind is very haphazard, your senses are also very haphazard and the rush is also very much more. Therefore, Patanjali says, okay, bring about a change in your day-to-day life. Not to allow your senses to rush towards their object of enjoyment. When you take your lunch, breakfast, evening dinner, stay in front of them and wait for the complete serving to be over. And in our tradition it is said, do a bhojan mantra, a chanting, a prayer, or calming down the mind. Then you take food. That brings tremendous amount of control over this thing, this pratyahara, prati-ahara. By these indirect ways, you start gaining control over the thing. So I told my friend, this is what I had to do. Bring about the change in your lifestyle. And day by day he started improving. Within about a week's time, he got back his concentration. And particularly, the breathing, he said, was the one that helped him the most. We asked him to do simple breathing techniques, hands in and out breathing, hands touch breathing, and several other things associated with movements of the body with the breathing, helps to slow down the breathing, control over the breathing, sectional breathing. All these things when we started doing, then he started gaining control over the mind and he started getting back his concentration. These are the techniques that Patanjali has streamlined. SOP has given us the 8-limbed yoga, and by so doing, we will be able to gain control over the mind. The willpower is going to develop. Now that willpower has to be pushed into every cell in our body, particularly the white blood cells and the natural killer cells in our body has to be powered by this will. Psychoneuroimmunology is very well known. The role of mind through the nervous system can strengthen the immune system. And there is a lot of evidence by which this can happen, and large number of research papers have been published to show the PNI axis to strengthen our immune system. So in this crisis when we should do these things. And the second dimension is that not only we tune our mind to that infinite expanse, if large number of people all over the world can join hands, synchronize themselves at a particular time, then we will be able to bring about a change in the global consciousness field. Synchronize global prayer, bring about the necessary positive change at the global level is what we started, and this is what we are going to do that. So what is the modality that we do here? First, you have to calm down your mind, go into the state of dhyana, a single thought. People can choose their own thought. People can have a Gayatri mantra, or they can just do a Brahmari, or they can have their own prayers. But in yoga, Om is the symbol. And the Mandukya Upanishad also tells Om is the name of the ultimate reality. Om ityetadaksharamidam sarvam tasyopavyakyanam bhudat bhavat bhavishyaditi sarvam omkara eva, said Om. And Patanjali says, Tasya Vachaka Pranavaha. What is the Ishvara? Ishvara Pranidhana. What is Ishvara? It is Om. Tasya Vachaka Pranava. So we have chosen this Om, the Pranava, for the single thought. So we are going to chant the Om loudly or in the mind. And 27 rounds we chant this Om. For that, we have about 5 seconds of inhalation, followed by 10 seconds of the chanting of the Om. So we do 27 rounds to allow the mind to come to a beautiful focus and to expand itself gradually, calming down, bringing an internal massaging and calm down the mind nicely. And then we expand our mind to that all-pervasive, expansive, either a beautiful blue sky or a vast infinite ocean can be imagined. And that we will do. All people all over the world, when done with that synchronicity, then we'll make a resolve. We use our willpower to strengthen our immune system. And that is what we are going to do that. So it is time at 6 o'clock. We are going to start this STP, Synchronized Global Prayer. Please come, join me in this wonderful STP that we are going to start. Synchronized Global Prayers, SGP. We have about 5 seconds inhalation and 10 seconds of exhalation Omkara. After that, we are going to have 9 cycles of resolve to strengthen our immune systems. Then we have the Shanti Mantra. Please join me for developing a positive global consciousness field. Inhale. Om. And the last round. Now we go for the resolve. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. And the last cycle. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With our increased immune strength, we prevent the corona and develop our health and move towards the blissful awareness. Wish you all the best. Thank you all for participating in that SCP. And now a few people have some questions which I will try to address.
Thank you.
In the
Guruji.
meantime, we have the announcement of our online programs, short online programs, which many people have been asking us to start these online programs. We have the contact here, Dr. Natesh Babu, who is our Deputy Director of Directorate of Distance Education in our Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhan Samsthan. And you can go and find out from our website www.svyasadda.com, and we have got the landline phone and also the mobile to find out the courses that we are offering and the details. Essentially, I'll be conducting the week-long programs, about 15 hours in a week, on Jnana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Unity in Diversity. So, in 1 week, you'll be able to get a summary and the essential features of Jnana Yoga. In another week, maybe Raj Yoga, another week, Bhakti Yoga, another week, and Unity in Diversity. These programs will have both theory and the practice, which essentially I am going to conduct. Then I will also be conducting with my team an advanced techniques. We have got 7 advanced techniques we have developed for integrated approach of advanced yoga therapy. We have got Avartan Dhyan cyclic meditation. We have got the PET pranic energization technique, MSRT mind sound resonance technique, MIRT mind imagery technique, MEMT mastering the emotions technique. 3 techniques at the Manomaya Kosha. And at the Vijnanamaya Kosha we have Visak, Vijnana Sadhana Kaushala, and the Anandamaya Kosha we have ANAMS, Ananda Amrita Sinchana. So these are the 7 advanced techniques that we developed in the context of cancer and have been used for various dimensions to strengthen our immune system. And people can register for this, and you can contact with this dimension that we have, and you are most welcome to join any of these courses.
Guruji, a question has come from Manisha Sharma. She asks, where is the study, Guruji, that proves how autoimmunity starts attacking us and yoga reversing it? Can you kindly share the link, please?
Normally, our immune system is working in proper shape. But when we were overstressed and haphazard lifestyle, featured by sleeping very late in the night, getting up very late in the morning, and all the time from morning till night running with a lot of stress, and having all types of foods, the junk foods, unhealthy food, and high calorie diets, and all types of things, and the use of tobacco and the psychedelic drugs, they all can suppress our immune system. It's very well established. The stress has an immunosuppressant factor. So stress is not merely physical, but the mental restlessness, emotional upsurges, deep-rooted psychological conflicts, all are at the base of the stress. And when the stress comes, your immune system gets suppressed. When the immune system gets suppressed, then it brings about autoimmunity. Autoimmunity is a thing that happens when our immune system finds that the insulin, which is produced, the beta cells of the pancreas are moving towards the cells through the bloodstream. It thinks somehow that insulin is an enemy and doesn't allow insulin to reach the bloodstream and the cells. So it creates an autoimmune barrier featured by high insulin resistance, IR. And therefore, insulin is produced, but it doesn't reach cells. When we take our food, normally the sugar level will increase and it sends the signals to the beta cells of the pancreas to send insulin. Promptly the insulin is produced in the beta cells and they start coming up to see that the sugar comes under our control. This is what happens in all of us. But when in the diabetics, when the insulin is coming, then the immune system creates an autoimmune barrier with a very strong increase in the insulin resistance, IR. And because of that, it is not allowed to reach the bloodstream and the different cell. This is called autoimmunity. And when this continues stronger and stronger, it starts hitting the insulin cells and start killing them. And this is what happens in the type 1 diabetes. People thought that only type 1 diabetes is autoimmune, but today the latest research is showing that even type 2 is also the mild autoimmune disorder. Somebody asked me, okay, what is the stress factor in the children before 10 years, 15 years when they get type 1 diabetes? Then the stress is not only by the external thing, also from our birth. According to yoga, it's our previous karma that comes here, and this is called the prarabdha karma. And this brings about a change in our very structure of the genes. And these genes start expressing in a different way and brings about the problems that we have. So it becomes type 1 diabetes, which is insulin dependent diabetes, and can cause the problem right from beginning. People want to take insulin. According to yoga, how does this change in the mindset of the immune cells occur? Why does the immune system think that insulin is the enemy? Why the stress is going to bring about this wrong notion? This wrong notion is called viparya. Viparya is a wrong notion. A person gets jaundice and thinks that the whole world has become yellow. While going in the evening, he thinks that there is a serpent, but actually it's a rope, sarparajju. Or seeing a ghost in a post. This all come under the broad category of viparya. And that viparya at the mind level is going to come down to the physical frame. When it happens maybe at the brain level, it will be schizophrenia, comes down to the physical frame, can cause diabetes or even cancer, and the wrong notion set up. In diabetes, it thinks that insulin is the enemy, while we all know that insulin is such a great friend. In cancer, we all know that cancer cells which are produced in the body are enemies, but somehow it thinks that cancer cells are my good friends. So it allows the cancer cell to grow. So this is called the viparya in the body level. So unless you remove that viparya, the problem is not solved. So how to do that? A stress-free condition. Having a right lifestyle. Yoga is the science of holistic living. And we have to work out all this to bring the harmony and balance. The stress is an imbalance, and we have to overcome the stress. And this is the solution that yoga offers. And using that, we have a large number of diabetics and many cancer patients have been able to get through their challenges. And same thing we are offering for the present crisis of COVID. Once we develop our strong immune system, it will be able to prevent, and people succumbing to COVID will be gone. This is the solution we have given, and we have produced very simple modules for people for prevention, 10 to 15 minutes. For people below 15 years, 16 years to 60 years, above 60 years, we have 3 modules that we have developed. People have to practice that. Being in the home nowadays, we have plenty of time. Do it 3-4 times and it will do. Similarly, when the people get into the positive corona, then we are in the hospital being treated. Again, we can use this yoga module as an adjunct to the conventional treatment that we are doing. But it doesn't prevent us from following very rigorously the modern things of isolation, social distancing, and using the other dimensions which have been prescribed, which has prevented India by becoming highly corona spread. So thank you very much for your question, and we hope that you will follow all the norms of yoga, practice yoga regularly, and strengthen your immune system, and use your will, viral the will to go into every cell in the body, and thereby strengthen our immune system to meet the challenge of COVID. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guru. Guruji, we've bit short on time, so because the courses are going to be announced on the 5th, so we will be covering a lot of these questions from 5th onwards. Thank you very much, Guruji.
Not only me offering these different courses, many of our very powerful faculty in our university are going to offer many courses, short courses, 1 week long courses. And we have Dr. Nagaratnam, we have got Professor Subramaniam, we have got Sir Sridhar, we have Dr. Ramakrishna, and many others, Dr. Manjunath, and many others. They are all going to offer their different online courses which you can study and get the benefit out of these things. It's the time that we have time to go deeper, think out of the box, and learn the wisdom of yoga and grow higher and higher, not only to maintain the health, to promote positive health and move towards the perfect health. That's what we want to do that. So please contact our website. General website is svyasa.edu.in, but particularly for this short-term online programs, we have got svyasa.dde.com, and you can contact Dr. Natesh Babu, who is our Deputy Director of the Directorate of Distance Education in Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthan Vyasa Yoga University. And we have the landline, we have got the mobile, we have got the website. Please go and register yourself so that we'll start. We have launched these online programs yesterday at the conclusion of the Shankar Jayanti celebration, which came up in our Bharati DD, and we all are ready to serve the people through the field of yoga. Dhanyavad, thank you all very much for your cooperation and for joining me in this wonderful session of viraling the willpower to strengthen our immune system. Thank you all.